As World War II was ending, the Allied forces began to liberate the German concentration camps one by one, discovering the physical evidence of the horrors of Nazi Germany's final solution. They witnessed the mass murder of Jews, gypsies, people believed to be gay or lesbian, to have physical and mental disabilities, and others that Nazis deemed a threat to their ideal of an Aryan nation. They wanted people who accepted the Nazi doctrine of their supposed superiority, and during this time period, 6 million Jews and 4 to 6 million non-Jews were deemed unfit, evil, or dangerous to the German Republic or the Aryan ideal and murdered by the Nazis. After the war, most of the world united in its outrage against the pure evil of this unprecedented government-sponsored mass murder. The Allied forces of World War II, the US, the Soviet Union, France, and Britain, all from very different cultures and legal traditions, began the righteous and tedious task of framing the first international rules of war to prosecute, try, and punish war criminals. By August of 1945, they had established a working charter that defined the rules that would be used for war criminals. They agreed on 3 categories of war crimes that would be used at the Nuremberg Tribunal, the trials of Nazi war criminals that would be held in Nuremberg, Germany. These types of crimes were crimes that included the planning, starting, or waging wars of aggression, crimes that involve cruel and improper treatment of civilians and prisoners of war, and crimes against humanity, which included murdering, enslaving, deporting, or persecuting civilians based on race, religion. The formal legal strategy of those indicted was not that they were innocent of these charges, but that the Nuremberg laws were not created at the time they committed these acts, so therefore these laws didn't apply to them. Even more insidious was another refrain that came to be famous regarding those charged with murdering millions of innocent people, who often said, "I was only following orders." All of three of those accused were convicted. The 12 who were most directly involved in the killing were sentenced to death, and the rest were given prison sentences. From today's standards in a court of law, and from what we see in courtroom TV, this seems to be a reasonable and fair procedure and verdict. In 1945, the procedure and rules were the first of their kind, and many thought the whole process was outrageous. But as you'll see as we explore the evolving rules of war from 1945 at Nuremberg to the present, while there were undoubtedly problems in Nuremberg, errors large and small, the key and simple success of the Nuremberg trials was they established 3 different kinds of war crimes. They established an orderly legal procedure with judges and prosecutor from 4 participating countries. The defendants were allowed to choose their own lawyers. The indictments and verdicts were based on the established descriptions of the war crimes. The accused were found guilty or not guilty according to trial evidence, and the convicted were given sentences that were carried out as defined. These rules may seem so obvious that to state them might seem boring or even annoying, but pay special attention to these 6 simple rules as we begin to explore the next generation of the rules of war.